So far, we are exploring the nature of the happy moments or unhappy moments, pleasant experience, unpleasant experience. Also, we have seen so many ways we have been pursuing, but it is not that every time or everyone straight away get the understanding. It takes some time. When we say time, it may be years or it may be lives. But fundamentally, we are very clear. Every being is pursuing happiness in some way or other, in some form or other. And also, not only pursuing that, but to pursuing happy, pleasant experience. Also want to move away, protect one's own life from unpleasant experience, unhappy moments. So in the process, we also observed we develop or we create a lot of concepts, a lot of impressions, a lot of desires, a particular way of life, a particular way of living. It creates certain pattern. So using that mind, when we pursue, when we look into this answer, where I can get this uninterrupting happiness or eternal happiness. We are searching happiness and we have been changing the object from where we get the happiness. We have been changing because what is happy today is not happy tomorrow. What is happy yesterday is not happy today. So we have been changing, exploring one after the other. Then when we get this clarity, then this wisdom, that happiness is not in all these things. I've been just keep on changing. So there naturally the search comes where I can get the eternal happiness, real happiness. But by the time, if we notice, we can get into a habitual way. We get into a certain rhythm. The mind functions in a certain way. A lot of likes and dislikes. A lot of things we get attached. A lot of things we don't want to let go. Fear sets in. Insecurity sets in. So in that process, we can see that the mind becomes a complex thing. And I'm saying complex thing because it is not just about thought. We generally say vritti, right? Thoughts. But it's not just about thoughts. You have varieties of thoughts. We like something, we don't like something. We have fear, varieties of desires, angry moments, anxious moments, frustration, irritation, depression, stress, joyful, a lot of happiness, enjoyable moment. Also, that enjoyable moments are also varieties of enjoyable moments. In the process, we develop certain concepts. We like certain philosophy. We like some teacher. We like certain masters. So a lot of likes and dislikes, right? Everything. We have our own set of things. Anything we take, we have our own likes and dislikes. So whatever the mind we have now, it has all these various things put together. It's not a simple mind. When we want to know where is happiness, it's very simple. Happiness is there. We can put it in one line. Where is that? Where we can get that eternal happiness? Also understanding all these happiness are not permanent, or all these unhappy moments are not permanent, very easily we can understand. Also very easily we may point out where we can get that eternal happiness. But in this whole process, we have already developed a mind which is complex one. Why I'm saying complex? Because it is not simply developed, simply brought up, simply grown in a very straightforward way. Suppose if you take a highway, that's how the mind is developing from south to north. But it's not one straight way. There are a lot of exits are there. Short exit or long exit. Or it may go into other mini highway. Or it may join in some other highway. It may go into certain villages. It may go into certain towns. It may go into certain resting places. So our mind is something like that. We have gone into all these places. Wherever we went already, we have already created a lot of connections. We have already created a lot of likes and dislikes. We have already created a lot of concepts and philosophies. So we may think this person is belong to this region, this culture, this country, this race, this religion. But within that space, every individual person has their own concepts and philosophies and likes and dislikes. So it looks like a simple mind, but it really grown up as a complex mind. Now with that, when we are looking into, okay, this is what eternal happiness, and we look into that, we get it. It seems like impossible. Why? We have set already a lot of methodologies. When I'm saying methodology, it seems like a very normal thing, and we say habit, normal thing, but that's what leading us to live in this life. We can look into that. How many things we are doing habitual way. The dress we wear, the food we eat, the way we talk, even the way we carry our body language, mannerisms, the way we respond to various things. even when we are doing any kind of routine activity, we have created certain methods, certain habits. And if it is not happening in that same way, we are not able to get into the action. The mind is developed in that way. We can look at that, from that place like where we sleep. We need this particular type of bed. Because every day we are using that type of bed. And when we go to the other place, the bed is not something like similar. We are not able to accept it. Because whatever the impression habit already created in the mind is one side. The body already adopting to that connection, that habit. There are people, they need their own bed sheet. They need their own towel. The cushion type should be this way. The pillow height should be this way. In fact, there are people, they see the direction also. The bed should be in this direction. It has its own reason anyway. But when it is something like different, then they can't sleep. Even if you give the same thing also, the people when they move from one place to other place, they can't sleep. If there is a new place, I'm not able to sleep. It's not that we are deliberately thinking or doing that way, but we can see that when we repeatedly do one action, it is building certain attachment, certain connection, certain methodology, certain habit, certain pattern. That's how we develop also our sleeping time, what time we go to bed. Maybe certain time, you may go to bed at 9 o'clock, sometimes 10 o'clock. Then over a period of time, then it is set based on your work and other things related with your family members. 10, 11, 12, 1. Then what happens? Then it leads to it connects with your getting up time, habit set. So all these while you have this habit of getting at 7 o'clock or 7:30. So your life starts afterwards. And suddenly one person says, no, it's too late. You have to get up early and do your pranayama and meditation. Get up at least 6 o'clock and 6:30. It seems a Himalayan task. It's like, you are climbing to Mount Everest. And looks like, every time I go to base camp, afterwards I'm not able to go further. Now 1 week I'm trying to get up at 6 o'clock to do meditation. Whenever we have the session, I'm able to get up at 6 o'clock. After that, when I'm doing on my own, I keep the alarm at 5, but it goes 5:30, it goes 6, 6:30, then 7 o'clock I got up. Then I feel comfortable. Physically, mentally maybe not comfortable. Still you want to change it. But the habit is set already. And also we get disturbed by other people also in the family. Suppose you get up at 5 o'clock and see your spouse and children sleeping. And your body is not getting up. So when you see them, you feel nice company. Oh, okay. You can see that you don't even see that their vibes, their energy is attracting you. You also go to sleep. You continue your sleep because they are also sleeping. Say someday you got up and prepare yourself and sit there for pranayama meditation. You just look at them. They are still sleeping. Not only simply sleeping, sound sleep also. So even you do your own pranayama, they do their own pranayama. So what happens? Over a period of time, it's very difficult to overcome the mind. So you join with their pranayama. Right? So it's not something like simply like overcome. It is a simple thing. We see that, I want to get up. I have the interest. I know what is the effect of that. I have all the facilities. I go to bed earlier also. But because over a period of time, mentally, physically, I set this habit, to overcome this habit, it becomes a huge task. And we can see that the food what we are eating, that, not only the place where we brought up, country wise or culture wise, within our family there is certain kind of like a taste which is connected with our taste buds. So wherever we go, when that taste buds are, then still it, but for you it is not like something like match with your level of taste, level of delicious. So what happens then? You will look for it. Even wherever you go there, good food, everything. Even at your home, you make good food, but the mind indirectly look for that. You are connected with that, and this way, if we look at our daily life, the dress which we like at our home, what kind of place we want to have as our home. We have our likes and dislikes. What kind of things we have to have at home. We have our likes and dislikes. In what way it has to be arranged, we have likes and dislikes. It's not just simply likes and dislikes. Based on that, we are creating a certain pattern. Eating time, we are creating a pattern. It's not the food, what you are eating, even the time, the way you are eating, creating the pattern. Though what is required for the body is one thing, what the way I want to do is the other thing. So it's a combination of that. Then we have many other things attached with that, right? When we want to relate with people, we want to relate in a particular way. When you want to build relationship, again, that is also coming in a particular way. The job, what we are doing, the method, the way we are doing. And we can, if you look at every small thing in our daily life, if we trace back, not only it has its own habit, it is other people's appreciation or non-appreciation. Based on that also, it has its own pattern. Sometimes we don't do things for just ourselves. We do things just because others need to acknowledge that or others need to appreciate that. And when we do something with our own method or our own, maybe we can even say comfort zone, our own capacity also. Because there is some, what do you call it, little bit subtle difference between this comfort zone and capacity. The capability to do one job, it's definitely not other person's assessment or judgment. We can't decide based on that. We can do only based on our experience. We know very well, if we really look into that, what is our capability. But what happens when we do get into things, we don't have the connection, so we start to do things based on other person's expectations. And that's where we don't match. Again, based on that, there is a pattern state. You want to do something, you are able to do something, result is something. And we build on things, on and on and on, not just one thing. not 100 things, thousands of things or millions of things. And put together everything, we carry this mind. It's not something like what we want to do. Instead, whenever we do, we gain certain experience, then memory is strongly playing the role in our actions. It's not something we want to do, something we are thinking, something we are evaluating, something we are planning. It is not just happening with that. Furthermore, based on our experience, based on our memory, we are getting into the actions. So it becomes, as everybody's words, it becomes complex. You say, how are you doing? I'm good. But I don't know how to express. Or I don't know I'm good or not. Or I think I'm good until you ask this question. Now I'm thinking am I good or not. You can see that slowly the mind becomes a very complex thing. Each and every aspect, if we explore, we can see that how that is really hijacked our life. We think like we are pursuing something in life. Not really. Based on these habits and patterns which were set at our young age, maybe until the age of 13 or 15 or 18 or 21. Whatever things are set until that age, the whole life is going on. We may think like we learned something new. We may think like, we got like this new pursuit, but actually it is set already. Our habit set already. Our expectation set already. Our concept set already. Whatever set within those age terms, age time, then we are continuing the life. Then one day suddenly we wake up. What is that? We have been chasing things like nothing happening. But by the time we look at the mind, it becomes really, really old. Age may be 30, 40, 50, but the mind is already gone into that pattern. So now when we are searching where is that real happiness, when we find something here, there or something, but the mind is not listening to move on from its own way of doing things, its own pattern, method of doing things. It's not just I'm talking about the thought process. We can see that emotionally also how far we have, I don't know, attached is the right word or not. Method is the right word or not. Or habits is the right word or not. All we can say that it is emotionally, the people like, if somebody says nice words, loving words, and we were looking for that and we go flat on that. Some people like get angry for small things, getting irritated on small things. Some people, if somebody is not behaving right way, they get anxious and agitated. Family members, more agitation. Office members, further agitation. Somebody on the road, more frustration. It is not simply happening. Emotionally, we are already built up that way. Emotionally, we have set a pattern in that way. So, we don't see things objectively. Instead, we have this impulsion. Impulsively, we are reacting. That's what our daily life is all about. A simple example we can take. When somebody misbehaves, when I'm saying misbehave, very simple. If somebody is not giving the respect, even known person or unknown person, we get irritated, we get angry. Why? Because there is a pattern set already. It has to be behaved this way. This has to be done this way. The people need to behave this way. This is the social term, or ethically it has to be done this way. We have this kind of concepts. But even an unknown person, not necessarily even directly connecting with you, they may be doing to somebody else. They behave with somebody else. They may behave with a dog, they may be behaving with a tree, they may be behaving with a man or woman, but we are getting irritated because of that. Irritation means it is not like something you are not accepting. It is not ending by that. Some people even getting angry and scold them. Somebody even like getting angry and not scolding them, scolding their spouse, scolding their children, scolding the people at the office. Somebody like getting irritated and it spoils the whole day. They can't really focus on things. They can't really enjoy other beautiful moments because the pattern is set. And it's not necessarily only angry and frustration. Emotionally also. You hear some bad news, sad news. Somebody died. Your day gone. Not necessarily even close members. There are people, they don't get worried when the people died. They get worried when the animal died. Everybody carry their own way of life, right? Own way of living. The concepts are set. The philosophies are set. Habits are set. Emotional reactions are set. Bringing the awareness to these kind of like varieties of the way the mind is working itself a huge thing. In fact, when we are getting into this exploration, that's what we need to give attention. That's what we really need to look into that. Then it will separate the person you are observing, the thought process happening, the habitual way the mind is functioning, and you can very well separate it. You are just observing the way the mind is functioning. Then you will find out how this mind is tricky all this while. What is the immediate effect of that? The immediate effect of that, you won't be so joyful, you won't be so much happy when things are happening the way you want to happen. You won't be too sad. You won't be too irritated. You won't be too disappointed when the things are not happening the way you want to happen. And that's where we start to take one step back to look at our own mind. When I'm saying our own mind, because it's very much associated with this body. So, very much associated with this observing person. Within this field it is happening. So, you will start to see with one step back what's happening there. Like you are observing the person next to you. Like you are observing your spouse. Like you are observing your children. Like you are observing your students. Like you are observing your pet and or neighbors or the tree or whoever. So you see yourself separate and you see others separate and you start to observe. The same way you will start to observe your own thought process. Then what happens? You don't own up. Something good, you don't like it, means so much proud about it, pride about it, so much enjoying. Something not good, disappointed, frustrated, irritated, angry. So all these things will start to change. That's how the transformation will take place. So what we will do, we'll start to observe. Of course, it is not like just you heard now it will change. Because as I said, the habit set, now you will start to recognize that first. Recognition of the pattern, the way the mind functions. Recognition of the habit, the way it sets. Then from that, just that mere recognition will bring the transition, will bring the transformation. What kind of transformation? Then you will start to see the reality as it is. What is that? Nothing is permanent. Everything will change. We have been keep on chasing the happiness here and there. We are worried about these things. We are fearful of these things. And we want to live. We don't want to die. All these things, all these facts, you will start to recognize. Then, when we are asking this question, yes, I am doing this. Yes, it's the way this mind functions. Yes, my pursuit is about this happiness. My pursuit is about protecting me. Then where is this real thing? Where is this eternal thing? So many ways I am leading my life. So is it worth to spend all this time and effort, this energy to pursue these things? It may be money, it may be health, it may be status, it may be relationships, it may be varieties of achievements, a lot of good things. So many ways we have been pursuing the life. Many things, right? Then we get to see that, am I really doing the right thing? Am I really need to do this way? Am I really need to do at this time? So when we get that observing mind, when we are able to see ourselves objectively the way the thought process are happening, and when we recognize the habitual mind, the tricks of the mind, and that's where the transformation with taking place. With the transformation, then we are able to put our pursuit in the right direction towards that eternal happiness. Because afterwards I'm going to ask one more question, is there happiness is a real thing? See, all this while I've been saying like we are looking for happiness, we are looking for pleasant experience. We don't want to have, unpleasant experience. Every being is like chasing behind this pleasant experience. So when we start to see objectively, when we start to recognize the way the mind functions, when we are able to really separate it, naturally we will get into this question: is there any such thing is there as pleasant and unpleasant experience? Is the happiness is real? Is there is any eternal happiness? Because we have to ask this question, so-called masters, right? If they have got this happiness, eternal happiness, we can say that, right? They are always in a happy mood. They are always expressing their joyful state. They are always smiling. You might have read this kind of stories. And when we look further look into their life, it seems it's not true. They have got angry, they have got irritated, they have got their own frustration moments. They have gone through a lot of painful things, physically painful. People gave the pain also. Sometimes they run away from the people because that person asking the same question again. So many times told the same answer. There are stories, right? When they ask the question, sometimes they gone into silence. Why they gone into silence? Because we answered that question for that question answered many times and come back the same question. So then they have got this kind of a tricks. And we have been reading stories and hearing many different people's experience that so-called great masters also gone through these various state of mind or emotions, whatever you put it. Why again we carry concepts, we carry images, not only about us, about others also, right? How many of us really know Buddha also got angry many times? Generally, when we say Buddha, even like any photo, any kind of statue, what do you call it, like when they tell stories also, we always hear the stories about, calm, quiet, serene, ever smiling. Also, all the photos, statues, everything, like it is depicting only that serene state, radiation, right? With so much light. Have you seen any statue of angry Buddha? No, we don't want to see that. I'm not saying that we should have, but we don't really understand the concept of this, but we get into certain imagination or concepts. So we set that as our own understanding of that, and based on that we do things. It's not about only uh, life of Buddha. There are many masters, and every masters, you can see that after that so-called enlightenment, or a so-called, like, before knowing the truth or after knowing the truth, before the chasing of happiness or after attaining that eternal happiness. So they also have gone through all these variations. So in that case, then what is that? What is the nature of this eternal happiness? What it will really do? So that we need to know, that we need to understand. Otherwise, we chase something which is not there. We chase something which will never happen, which will be never experienced. So that's why what we see as real, it seems as though it is real. The more we go closer, it is not the same thing what we had seen before. It changes, not in one way, in many ways, right? When we get into many friendships, any relationships also, it's like that. At the beginning, it is nice, happy moments, enjoyable moments, and we carry that image all the time. When something happening different way, we get shocked. We don't want to have that kind of different image, because what is our expectation or what is our imagination is different. And that's how we got into all sorts of issues with any kind of relationships. Known people, unknown people, family people, office people, everywhere. But when we get this clarity, this understanding or this experience, then we see very well, very clearly how the mind functions, how the mind is acting or reacting or responding. Then we know. Then from there, when we dig deeper further, slowly the reality reveals itself. That's why it's called reality. Why it is called reality? Everything is real, right? Whatever we see, it is a real one. But what others experience or masters experience, so they say it is not real. It looks real, but it is not real. Happiness is real, but it is not real. Unhappiness is real, but it is not real. Peaceful state is real, but it is not real. So all these things, like, transforming into different things. Then we will understand by that what is this concept of eternal happiness. So what we need to really aware, understanding, or really exploring further, we have to go with, as I was suggesting, known experience or known mind. Instead of chasing something, it is there somewhere. So we need to look into our own experience now. My desire is real, isn't it? My angry is real. My frustration is real. My conflict mind is real. Every day, if I look into that, I do things which I don't want to do. I don't do things which I want to do. Right? We have been like, keep on like going into the things, opposite things. Want to get up early morning, not able to get up. Don't want to sleep, but sleeping. Right? In many things, like, we can see that pattern is there. Don't want to eat that food which says like everybody junk food, but still I eat. Right? Even my own, every time I open, mind says, this is not good for me, but still, oh, it's so nice, delicious. But still the other mind says it's not good for you. Yes, I know, one day, only for one time. So that goes for, okay, only for one time. Today, okay, only for one time. Tomorrow, only for one time. So life goes on, right? One day you want to give company for the children. One day you want to company for your friend. One day you want to give company to your spouse. One day you want to give company to your office people. So life goes on. Only one time. The time you want to go and eat on your own, maybe only once. But the same thing, it is uncontrollable, right? So every activity, many activity when we do life in daily life, we can see that many things we carry this conflict mind. Things I don't want to do, but I do. Things I want to do, but I don't do, or I am not able to do. And when we get some kind of acceptance of that, then things changes. Then that's where we are able to relate the way the mind working, not just working with us, how it is relating with others also. So I said like it's a complex mind, but the reason why I am saying that way, because now only we are looking into the mind. We never questioned before. We never really scrutinize the way the thought process are happening. We don't really trace back where is the source of this thought. We just, everything we like, the way we are breathing, we take it granted. The body is there, we take it for granted. The way the mind functions, the thought process are happening, we take it for granted. Now you give time separately, sit there, look at the way the mind functions, the thought process are happening. Then all the things are seems strange. Why it is strange? Because it it takes us, it leads us towards the unknown zone within our own life or our own existence. So then a lot of things we start to see, it seems like, very, very simple. It is there all the time, but we didn't notice. our desire or our attachment, whatever that connected with the thought process, with our own mind. So we will explore that more. We will continue to analyze the way the mind functions. Then with that, when we find out, when we come to know where we can find this eternal happiness and what this eternal happiness, it will make sense. It will not only make sense, we see that obviously, we see that very clearly. We see that without any kind of obstacle or blockage. That also will take time. The reason why it takes time, because, right, and everybody's interpretation. One master says, desire is the root cause of all your problems. So get rid of all your desires. Then another master says, desire for everything. So what is this concept of desire? What is desire? Do I do things without desire? So we need to explore that. What is attachment? Attachment means get rid of everything, is it? Other person says, you have everything, but still you can live without attachment. So how it works? Other person says, don't get angry. And there are people, still in that blissful state, peaceful state. But with plenty of angry. So it seems like not very straightforward. So that's why it takes certain amount of time. If you are like keeping the attention, awareness sharp, like a wildfire, very quickly it catches. But if the attention is lacking, the connection is lacking, the continuity is lacking, then it takes some time. It's like, there is fire, but there is water. So still underneath there is some fire is there. Because of the dampness, it is not moving to the next one. So slowly we need to, blow some air there. Slowly, we blow some air, then it gets a little bit momentum, then it goes to the next one. So it changes, it works in different ways for different people. But we will see that we can spend time exploring these concepts one by one to understand the way the mind functions. Then it will bring the clarity. What am I searching in life? Where am I leading? Or what is the purpose? What is life? Who am I? Why am I here? So that leads to answers for all these questions. Okay, so I'm done for today. Any questions? Good, I got a question. Another question on meditation. When connecting with space between the eyebrows, the skin sensation often goes along with intense visual impressions, light, forms, etc. How to deal with these? Ignore. Do I need to ignore? Okay. I think I explained this some time back, maybe a few months back. So let us understand that a little bit more. When we do meditation, why we close our eyes? There was a technique which is focusing mainly the various sense organs. So meditating upon sense organs. We did also sometimes back. On our tongue, sense of taste, nose, sense of smell, ears, sense of hearing, eyes, sense of seeing, skin, sense of touch. So when we were connecting with that, that is the linking point between me and the world. When I'm saying world, it includes everything, every being, everything, everything. When I shut my senses, you can see that we shut the entire world. Because that is the bridge, right? That is the connecting point with others. When I taste, we can see that various things it is connected with that. When I hear, when I smell, when I see, when I feel touch sensation. So when we are getting into this meditation, what we are doing, we are withdrawing the senses. It's not just like we are connecting with, we are moving away from the body, from the posture. When I'm saying withdrawing the senses, that means from the body, within the body, all these senses, sense organs are functioning. Eyes, nose, ears, tongue, sense organs. From there, we are getting the sense. So first, physically, we are shutting down. Then, sensually. So, the sound, if we keep opening our attention, connecting only with the sound, we can see that that can lead to many places. Even you close your eyes, you hear the sound nearby, car sound, or the leaves are moving, sound of that. The birds are singing, sounds of that. Somebody is talking somewhere, sounds of that. Even complete silence is there. We start to hear the inner sound, our own stomach sound, our own breathing sound, our own body movements, within that the sound. Even the energy movements, there are sound is there. Some other time I will explain. With the energy centers, when it is connecting, when it is moving, that also, it creates certain sound. Not louder one, subtle one, that also sound. So, just this sense organ, this sense of sound, hearing that, even we get away from the posture, we get away from the outside world, within that also it will create, so we can keep on traveling one after the other. And it goes with every sense organ like that. Say that you are so much obsessed with your smell, sense of smelling. You are so much connected, sharply attuned with that sense organ. So what happens? Based on your likes and dislikes, if something is unusual, you are not comfortable. Incense stick can create trouble. Somebody walking nearby can create trouble. Some animal, bird moving nearby can create trouble. Trouble means like your attention can go there, right? just the air coming from somewhere else, far away. On that moment, it will take away your attention. So, all these sense organs, we are shutting down to keep our attention away from this external world and to connect with our inner world. So we close the eyes, we choose the time where we don't hear much sound, other sense organs, everything, very easy to go within us, inward. Now what happens? To some extent, it may not disturb. You may hear some sound, but your attention is not going there. Your attention is within your energy center. So there, still possible, like as I said, you can hear an inner sound. The vision also can be created. So the eyes are, in a way, though it closed, but the sense of seeing is active. You need to see the difference. My eyes are open, I'm seeing there. I'm seeing the screen. So I see all the images, right? Now, when I close my eyes, it is not like everything is closing. There is still sense of seeing is active. So I am seeing there is color shades, there are some images. Then if the mind also getting activated, it can bring some visuals like dream. Why? The sense of seeing is not yet disconnected. And if we are aware of that, if we observe carefully, at a time, the attention can be related with one sense. Combination can be happen, like when we are watching a movie. We are seeing also, same time there is sound is created, we are hearing, but it has to sync. It has to connect with that action. Suppose if the image is moving, but the sound is playing bit late, and they say Om, the mouth is closed, sound is coming first, but they are opening the mouth later, then we don't feel comfortable. We can't really see that because it is not syncing. But if it is syncing, so simultaneously, so the attention is only one place, one area at a time, right? So when we close the eyes also, we want to shut down all the senses, sound, vision, smell, but we want to relate with only one sense, the touch sense. So that's where we are linking with the sensation, the energy movement, the variation of that energy movement, all the subtle changes happening within that energy center. So if we are able to focus only on that, naturally all other senses are withdrawing. But it may not happen immediately. You may be able to connect here. Then the mind will go with the visual sensation. That means like it is seeing something. It may be light. It may be some image. The mind will keep on throwing. It is like a game. You know the Songkran festival, right? Thai New Year. And also that kind of festival in many other cultures also. So one person running, which is like, our attention, our mind. And many people throw the water. So you have to escape from everybody. So you focus on one direction, how you can escape from everybody. So here that's what we are doing. We close your eyes, you are escaping to the skin, touch sensation. Then the sense of seeing will throw the water. Sense of sound will throw the water. Sense of smell can throw the water. And this sense of seeing, it is not simply throwing the water, it throw varieties of water. Yellow water, green water, red water. So it can keep on throwing many different kind of like visuals because so much stock is there. When the people throwing the water, after some time the water is empty, no more water. They need to really go, and there is some gap is there, time is there. But this mind has unlimited storage, no monthly subscription. So it is like, keep on, like, it is stored already. So it is keep on throwing that visuals. So when we close, if the sense of seeing is active, colors, visuals, then if the mind getting connected with that, it will go with that. So that's what, it is not just the thought process, we need to get the awareness and let go the thought process, connect with the sensation. It is with the other senses also, sense of hearing, sense of seeing. So when we are able to connect with only the touch sensation, and with that, that's where we are really withdrawing from the sense organs. Until then, we are still connecting with that. Connecting with the body, you have some pain, knee pain, muscle pain, lower back pain. After a certain time, the posture is not comfortable. So that we are bringing the attention back to the body. That's one obstacle. Then we are connecting with the sense organs. That's the other obstacle. Each sense organ can be obstacle. Obstacle in the sense like the mind, give the attention there. Even if that is not happening, thought process. So you go with the thought process. That's why we have to keep those things away. Only connecting with this energy flow, energy center. And that, what happens, because the whole energy center is connected. Every energy movement is connected. So then it will take us from a small space to a greater space. That's where we see the reality as it is also. Okay. So definitely ignore. Ignore in the sense, happily ignore. Not with frustration. Because sometimes, what happens? You will start to hear nice music. The sound what you hear is not something like a simple one. Looks like, a great musician sound. Sometimes you hear that kind of sound. And also the visual, sometimes when it is projection, when the projected visuals are happening, and those visuals are something like also like, very attractive. The combination of the colors and other things, all those things are also really, really impressive. So then naturally the mind goes with that. So to ignore and not to give attention to those things and to focus only on one sensation, which is this touch sensation, which is that energy flow, which is that modulation of those energy movements, is required when we do this kind of chakra based meditation. And the other way also is there. There are other techniques, what they do, focusing only on these visuals. See, touch sensation is one sense, right? Focusing on one of these visuals, and from there it can connect with the energy flow also. Sense of seeing, activating, instead of shutting, activating more and more and more and more and more, and only on that. And it can be done through sound also. That's why, like, when we go more into different meditation techniques and different masters, everybody saying different things. So the people, when they hop on here, hop on there, you go to this master, they talk about only sound. You go to this master, then they will talk about only visualization. And you go to this master, they talk about only mantra. Forget about all this kundalini, all these things are nonsense. You just do this mantra, then you know everything. You will know the reality. And you go to the other master and it's all just waste. All these mantra, tantra and all, like, it's all like waste of time, taking all your energy. You just surrender to Lord. That's it. Surrender is a very simple thing. That also they will add this. This is 21st century. We have so many difficult things to do. So the simple thing to do is just surrender. And they don't know what is surrender. When they say surrender, that's where all the problem comes. They think they are surrendered, but they are not surrendered. So every system, every technique has its own issue, its own challenge. And that's where we get trapped also. And when we go to this particular technique and this and that, and we see that this is the best technique because it works for me. There is nothing best and worst technique. Every technique has its own place for its own people. That's all. Just we need to identify. That's where the challenge comes. Okay, I hope I answered. Any follow-up question? Any other question? Any other sharing of your experience? That also good. During meditation, if one get too tired and they start to stretch or move the body with minimum actions and no noise and not disturbing others, but mind is still focusing, is it still in meditative mode or the meditation is disturbing without us knowing? No, you can do that. See, as long as you are focusing, say that you are connecting with this particular technique, focusing on this Agnya chakra, connecting with the sensation. Not only that chakra, it leads to other chakras also. So when you are doing, the body is not ready, or you may be sitting longer. So or you have your certain limitation or challenge with your body. So it is seeking your attention. Maybe you have to change the leg position. You may have to release your leg, or you may need to really adjust your back, adjusting your sitting position. So as long as your attention is there and you do all those things, you get back more with what you are focusing, it is good. So it is not necessary that you should not do it, or you should focus only once you come out with the meditation over. It is not like that, not necessary. You can pick up from there where you discontinue. Having said that, if you do that every 5 minutes once, then definitely you will not enter into the meditation. So if we are doing it after 20 minutes or 25 minutes, something like that, and once or twice something happening like that, and also over a period of time it is changing, that's fine. That is still manageable. That is still, you can easily connect, you can still easily relate with what you are doing. But if it is happening again and again, quite often, so then we need to find a way what need to be done, either it is a posture or sitting position. So need to look into those adjustments so that like you don't really get disturbed. Okay. How do one learn to let go and not attach to the outcome or effect of every situation? Attachment or desire, or it has to be done this way, then only you are satisfied. Whatever the way, or you want to get this particular type of result. And when the result is not coming the way we want, and we are not, happy, we can't really let go. We are really like obsessing with that or attached with that, all those things. And it's all has the connection from one after the other. We like something. We want to get something. So the mind is calculating already, I want to get into this in order to achieve this or attain this. Right? So we work for that. So mind is calculating, I'm spending this much time, I'm spending this much energy. So the more you connect, the more you are aware of those things, then it is not just the actions, the mind is getting attached. Because not only on the result, because you are doing, right? So the actions adding up, the varieties of things you are doing adding up for this particular result. But when that result is not happening, it's not something on that moment. It is the accumulation of all the effort, all the time, all the energy spent. So the mind is disappointed. Not only disappointed, it carries that sadness. It carries that frustration. It carries that it's unwanted experience, right? It is once happened, but it is not going off. It's there. It carries. So how do we let go? So the observation or the connection need to start from the beginning, how we are doing things, how much we are connecting with things. How we can do that? Only when we are ready to accept the result of all our effort. Let us see this example. Say that you want to do Padmasana in Shirasasana. Okay. In fact, long back, you got this book Light on Yoga. And when you just browse through, this is the posture attracted you. Padmasana in Shirasasana. And that's the motivation for you to spread the mat, to get into yoga and to find a teacher and go for a yoga classes and do your own practice. So the target is set, right? It's not 1 year back, or maybe not 5 years back, it may be 10 years back or more than that. So the target is set. You are slowly improving. Before, not straight legs, you are straightening the legs. Trikonasana not coming, now Trikonasana coming, then other standing postures coming, and slowly you find the balance between different parts of the body. And first time on your head, where is the target? Padmasana and Sirsasana. First time on your head here. You are already happy, you are able to lift one leg up because target is set for Padmasana and Sirsasana. Then with the support already you are going, wall support, Sirsasana. First time upside down, happy. Happiness is not only for this. You have taken already one step towards your Padmasana and Sirsasana. So working then, slowly you are learning how to balance, slowly you are learning, okay, Ekapada Sirsasana, Parshva Ekapada Sirsasana, Parshva, all these variations, these and that and everything slowly building up. So what happens? Everything you are achieving, everything you are able to do, it is aiming the target, it is connecting to the target, Padmasana and Sirsasana. You can see that it is not that something you are happy with this. You are happy, but the happiness is because you are taking one step towards the end target. But in the process, either your mind changes or the body changes or some kind of injury, temporary injury or long time injury or some old injury resurrected. So you can see that there are so many different probabilities. So one option, you are working one step, second step, third step, 10 step, and one day you are going for at least Ekapada Padmasana and Shirsasana. So one leg you are able to move into that, other able still kind of hanging. Then slowly one day you are able to do that, and how you are able to get into that with all these challenges, overcoming that is one probability. You achieve that. Okay. What attachment comes from there, or the target will change afterwards, or all those things happening is a different thing. But other probability is you are not able to do that. Why? Many reasons, right? As I said, some knee problem or some other muscle problem or hip problem, spine problem, menopause, getting old, so many different things. The target change, so many different reasons can happen, right? So, but the attachment is there still. Whenever somebody is doing Padmasana and Sirsasana, your eyes naturally goes there. Whenever you see the book, your attention naturally goes there. Why? The attachment is there, right? Even though you don't see is that attachment, that connection is there. But when we very clearly see that it is not my interest, or it is not that final thing, whatever I am doing already is the achievement. And when you are seeing in that way, action every moment is the achievement, not just the end result. And you are able to see that very clearly. So every time any action, when the leading up actions is not targeted only about the end result, rather every moment connected with that itself, you are already seeing it objectively, that itself bringing the satisfaction. Still you may be working for that, but it is not with the attachment, right? So when we have this objective way of observing, then we can see that we will learn how to let go when it is not happening the way we want to happen, how to not get attached, even though you may be doing 24 hours, fully connected with that. Physically, all the sense organs connected with that. The mind is fully thinking of that. In one fine day, you need to let go, let go. Nothing follows afterwards. It's like along the way, you see a dog, street dog, and you are carrying that dog, feeding that dog, and playing with the dog, all the time, maybe 1 week or 1 month. Then afterwards, you need to let go and you need to move to other place. It has to be the dog. You happen to be that situation, you are able to do everything. You let go. And I say every relationship is like that, every world is like that. My screen went off. It says like, shut up. Okay. So I got a few more questions. Do you hear me now? Yeah. I lost those few questions. Anybody have that next question after me? Okay. If one see all the situation and doesn't care the result, no emotions, as if like one have fed up of life. No, I don't say it doesn't care. We see that we are ready to accept the result, right? When we are ready to accept the result, and it's not I have fed up of life. No emotions. Definitely, it is not about no emotions. Instead, knowing to handle the emotions. See, as long as the mind is there, emotions are there. We feel sad when somebody is in pain or ourselves in pain. We see sad when somebody is not getting what they are supposed to get. We feel happy when others are happy. You can see that laughter is very contagious, isn't it? There are a lot of people just laugh because others are laughing. But when people are crying, that can create that kind of effect. When everybody is sad, suddenly we also go sad for no reason. So all these emotions, when we see that, it is connected. And also when the mind is there, the emotions are there. So it is not totally no emotions. Instead, we learn how to handle the emotions. So we understand what is that nature of emotions and how to deal with that. When it comes, when it goes, we'll know it very clearly. So it is not totally you fed up of life, or there is no emotions, or because we ready to accept the result, then we don't really give attention to that. No, you enjoy what you are doing. If it is happening, you enjoy. If it is not happening, still you are fine with that. Maybe you look for some other situation, or you don't really get interest to do the action. Still it is fine. You may don't want to do anything, still it is fine. You may be full of actions, still it is fine. So it is this kind of situation. So that's why all the masters, not everybody simply sat quietly. There were people, less actions, maybe more into meditation and other kind of activities, or not doing anything, but still they were connecting with the world. There were people, they were full of actions, more actions than anybody else. So all these varieties of situation we can see that. Why, how it can be done? Because emotionally alive in the sense they are able to relate with the emotions, and they got the knack of handling the emotions, and it will not carry forward. I'm happy for this moment, ending. I'm not happy in this moment, ending there. I'm frustrated at this situation, ending there. And now my frustration will not move into anger. Okay, I'm angry in this situation, ending there. So it will not carry forward. I'm anger to this person at that moment, finished. The next moment with the same person, I'm full of joy. This anger will not interfere my joyful nature with this person, because the person 1 minute before, the action connected with that moment is different. The person now, the action connected with that person now is different. So I learn how to live in that moment. That's what called mindfulness. That's what called living in the present moment. But it's very, very challenging. Generally, if you see that, if you don't understand it, if you don't know how to relate with that, then we carry only the same kind of emotion. If I'm getting angry with this person, I'm angry forever, especially unknown person. If we get some pain from this person, and we carry that pain all the time, next time we don't want to even look at that person. If happen to be look at that person, we don't want to even smile at that person. And if you smile at that person, like, turn around and run away from that person. So everything happens, right? But the difference is we learn how to handle. Knowing, example, what is permanent, temporary thing, and realizing it is two different. Realizing it having blockage. From meditation, how do we identify that blockage? Knowing, example, what is permanent, temporary thing, and realizing it is two different. It looks like two different things, but actually it is not two different things. It is just like variations or varieties of manifestation. How we can do that by meditation? We'll explore that. We are doing that. That's what we are exploring it. We'll go step by step. And it is not two different things. It's appearing as though many things are two different things. So right now, yes, whatever we see, it is very, very real. Pain is real. Irritation is real. It's not only my irritation real. The irritation I'm getting from my family members also real. So all looks like, real thing. But we will know when we explore further in detail, or more observing way we connect with that, then we understand it. We will see it very clearly. It is not the same thing. So last one. So even we only have the emotion at the moment, but what if the person won't feel the same? Should we explain, or eventually thing will be solved by itself? Or we should just move on? Yeah. See, that also you need to understand. We will know, or we learn how to handle our emotions. We have no control. We have no say over other people's emotions. You may laugh. The other people still show the angry bird face. So we can't control that. You keep smiling, let them keep showing their angry bird face. So we can't change that. We can change only ourselves. We can do anything with ourselves only. Sometimes the way you look, they get angry. The way you dress, they get angry. The way you talk, they get angry. The way you do things, they get angry. It's their problem. Don't worry about others' problem. We have a lot of problems to worry. So we just focus only on our actions. Right? We should learn how to live. See, Trump is the good example for that. We are all, giving example for the wrong reasons. You look at the way like Trump lead his life. He never care about others. He does what he wants to do. When for wrong reasons, when the people can do things, in many ways. So we have to see the good thing of that. That's what we need to do. So whatever we do within ourselves, we can have the say, we can have the control, we are learning. That's what this enlightening is all about. We are enlightened about the way the mind functions, the emotions are carrying on or exhibiting, manifesting. Okay, but nothing to do with others. It includes your spouse. It includes your children. It includes your family members. Anybody cannot change, cannot control. Change is different thing. We can't control their things. So it's only for us. Okay. With that note, happily end today's session. So good night and see you soon. Namaste.